Do you want more? More time, more balance, more love, more sex, more money, more real, and less bullshit? This is the Women Wanting More podcast with Dr. Karen Osborne. Real life, real stories, plus real tips to get you more of what you want.
Collision with purpose. Let's talk about this. I was teaching a master class on how to heal your marriage. 7 days of Facebook Lives last week. It was incredible. And one of the things that we talked about was how to be a good fighter, how to collide to create results. So let's go there right now. In marriage, any relationship, but in marriage, you're going to collide. You're going to have fights. You live together, maybe you do business together, like it is fucking inevitable. So right now, take the notion of you shouldn't fight in marriage and throw that shit out the door, because that is the biggest fucking piece of bullshit. It's part of it. It's part of it. And it's so cute. Some of you go, well, like to call it an argument. Okay, it's a fight. Well, we really like to call it a disagreement. Okay, well, you're fucking colliding. Like, you're going to war with each other. Like, whatever. Don't wash it down. It is what it is. But see, there's a way to be a good fighter, like we talked about last week. There's a way to collide to actually create results. Because in my marriage, for years and years and years, we would fight. We would keep it all bottled down and not talk about stuff and then explode on each other and not create any kind of results and talk around in circles. There were no results with that whatsoever. But we've since learned how to really do this and get something from the experience to create some kind of result, some kind of resolution. And so it comes down to this. It comes down to first, like, understanding who you are. Understanding who you are, right? I know who I am. I can be explosive. I can be reactive. I need to have that piece of me and not like keep it under wraps, but just like, I need to like bring her back a little bit, turn the volume of Karen down, right? I choose to, when we're going into these moments of like, let me just be open to what it is actually hearing and not just shut right down. In other words, we kind of have our own rules of engagement of how we collide with each other, like, right? Like, we're going to listen to each other. We're going to choose not to freak out. Do we still freak out at times? Fuck yes. But we know sometimes too that pressure is needed and necessary in order to get to a place. Like, pressure has to be released. If there's been something building up, you've got to get that out. Otherwise, what does it end up in? Passive-aggressive comments, resent, anger, rage, overwhelm. Like, it doesn't fucking work, right? It does not work. I'm actually recording this right now in Boise, actually Eagle, Idaho. We're here on a business trip for my husband's part of a group called the Inner Circle with Russell Brunson, amazing entrepreneurs here for a couple days. And it's this little area called Eagle, city outside of Boise, which is really nice, but loud and new and lots of big box, small kind of stuff. So that was just a little water fountain thing I passed by. So I'm walking around here early morning recording this podcast. Because last night we were here, we collided. Had a great day traveling. Traveling can be a little stressful, as you may know, and like just had a great day with it. Like, fun together. It was relaxed. It was cool. Even though we had like big ass long lines of security and odd stuff, like it was great. Got to the hotel, it was great. Like, let's go eat. It's like, I've eaten here before. It's like, it's not the best, but like, I'll be okay. I'm like, okay, great. And we get there and the wine's like fucking piss warm and it's food that's all just not food we eat. Massively fried and steak I can't even find because it's all smothered in something, and really slow and like blah. And when we were at dinner, there's a certain individual that will be here over these 2 days that we did not have a good experience with. that we had a history with and had a good relationship with, and then there was a decision that this person made where it was bad. It was bad. And so it caused a lot of fucking chaos in our lives. And, of course you look back on those things and go, you know what? Thank you. Thank you for showing me who you were. Like, really. Like, I don't just mean like, thank you, like a passive aggressive. No, let's like honestly, like, no, thank you. Because we were going to actually kind of pursue this and do business together or do work together or hire you. And it's like, that's not going to ever happen now. So I'm glad I found out now, right? But yeah, at the time, not good. So it's like a year and a half later. Saw this person at an event about 2 months ago. It was just kind of like a quick hi, like, I'm not going to hold on to stuff. It doesn't serve me. Holding on to resentment, all that shit. I'm like, whatever. But now we're going to be in a smaller group where this person is there. So it says to me at dinner, how are you going to handle when you see this person? And I'm like, so here's, give you a little bit of background, right? Again, I can be a little confrontational. I can be in your face about the truth. I don't hold shit back. I can be intense. People can feel intimidated by me. And I'm like, I'll fucking show you exactly how I feel. I'm not gonna pussyfoot around it. And so I know that what it was saying is he was concerned, or what I heard from Ed's words and how the collision started is I was upset with him not trusting me, that I would handle this with tact, that I would respect that we are here for Ed, and that I would not do something that would be just not cool, right? I'm not gonna throw down the bitch. Like, it's just not gonna happen. I would not do that to him. But yet, the fact that I felt that he was suggesting that triggered the fuck out of me. Triggered me. And so we collided about it. And I'm like, why don't you just ask me what you want to ask me? Because here's what I feel. And he's like, well, I just want you to be prepared for it, and da-da-da, and wasn't really, so here we go. So we're talking about rules of engagement we often will have. It's like none of that shit was happening, and we were just tromping all over it in the restaurant. Sipping my warm ass. God, food's cheaper, they'll tell you that. I don't know, $6.50 of wine, or a glass of wine. Cheap. And then, we finished up, paid the bill, and I kind of continued to go back to the room where we can really discuss this. I'm just like, look, I'm hurt that you would, think this. And when it really came down to it, what he kind of shared, he's like, well, you know what? I'm concerned of how I'm going to respond to this person. I don't, And so then we had a conversation about that, right? So in other words, the collision needed to happen to get to the real truth. Now, did he know at the time? Did Ed know he was kind of, deflecting his shit onto me? I don't know. Who cares, right? The fact of the matter was it created a result, which was, let's have a conversation about how we're going to deal with this person that we see. And not create stories about it, and not get all stressed about it, but just here's how I'm going to handle it. Here's the strategy, right? And it was good to have that. To feel kind of more, calm, certain, good about going into today. So that collision produced a result. Now, could I have held on to that and kept it? Sure. Yep. I shouldn't have come here with you. I don't want to do that. Yep. Could have gone there. Yep. But it was a necessary step. So I want you to consider that, sister, that collision can be done. And it can be that you're fighting with each other, you're yelling, screaming, you're pissed. This is not okay, well then you'll say this and I'll say this, and then boom, out it comes we bake the cake. Here's the result. Here's the resolution. I see now. We need to have a conversation. So I got to okay, cool, got it. No, there are going to be many times where it's fucking messy. We're going to sling mud. We're going to bring up old ways of being which do not serve you and don't get results. It's okay. It's going to take some time for you to do this, right? It's going to take some time. So here's what I want you to do as part of your more tip today. And I just kind of barely touched on this, but I'm going to have you open up your journal and write down what would be the rules of engagement that would work for you when you do collide. So let me give you an example, right? So I know for me, I'll tend to kind of interrupt Ed. He'll interrupt me sometimes, kind of interject. And it's like, you know what? I just want to speak and have you listen to me. And then it'll be your turn, right? Like another thing is like tell the truth. Don't fucking hold back shit. Like just say it straight up to my face. So what are the rules of engagement that matter to you? And then the next piece of this would be to sit down with your husband or boyfriend or partner and just be really clear about it. Like, hey, you know what? Listen, we're going to have fights. This happens. It's okay. I love you. I want to create that when this does happen, that we get something from the experience. Like we can really create results. And so, you know, can we sit down and really design, like you co-create these rules of engagement, but you kind of start the conversation first. Listen, this is not an easy thing to do. I get that. It's not. People want to brush this shit on the rug. But it's like having the conversation about creating a will, right? Or life insurance. Like, oh, I don't want to think about dying. Oh, I don't want to think. Well, you need to think about these things because it's going to happen. You're going to die. You have to figure out who gets your shit and what happens when you die and what would happen with your children if you suddenly died. Like, you need to figure these things out. And it's not a comfortable conversation to have, and no one wants to have it. But you creating these rules of engagement to know how you interact with each other when you collide, it's necessary, sister. Necessary. So write those down. What would be your preferred rules of engagement? And then commit to having a conversation with your husband about you taking yours to the table and he has his, so you know. It's not like you hold the rules going, see, you're violating rule 2.0 right now. No, you don't do that shit. You're just clear. This is how we communicate with each other. So you can actually create a result. So you can collide and get something from that. So, sister, I want you to go ahead and subscribe to this podcast if you haven't already. Leave a 5-star review and really help out other women that are looking for this or just looking for a podcast. Stumble across it. That's the story I always heard from women. Somehow I suddenly found your podcast and I started listening to it. Oh my God, it feels like you're speaking to me. So there's more women around the world that need to hear this message. And so I'd greatly appreciate if you leave a 5-star review. Subscribe so you get all the episodes so you don't miss any, but leave a 5-star review. So women that are checking it out will decide to listen to it too. And you can have the chance to really transform another woman's life. So that's number 1. Number 2, I want you to join the sisterhood. There are more and more women that are joining the sisterhood from countries around the world that are like you. It is important, necessary. If you want to really create more within your marriage, with your business, with your body, with your children, that you're around women that are like you, that you have the accountability of women who are like you, and you have action plans. And we have weekly trainings inside that group to really get you there, and all sorts of, like 52 videos, I think, as I record this episode, in the archives of content of training for you to really understand how to do this work. So head over to drkarenosborn.com/sisterhood, and you can sign up for your first 7 days for just $8. And then number 3 is this: make sure to subscribe to the newsletter. This is where you're going to get all of the VIP access to everything Women Wanting More, including the More 4, which is how to start your day in power. And I'm going to send you 2 very powerful video trainings I did inside of an exclusive Facebook group on how to drop your stories and create new ones. So how to really remember who you are. So that's over at drkarenosborn.com/action guide. So I will talk to the next episode, sister. A life of more is just one step away from you doing the fucking work every single day. I love and appreciate you.
To get the show notes of each Women Wanting More episode, including the How to Get More tip, subscribe to the newsletter at drkarenosborn.com/newsletter.